know, we're finally getting to this figure, even though I had an unboxing video uploaded on my channel a couple of months ago. But here it is, guys. I'm sorry, the Legacy line caught my interest for quite some time, but now we're back to Transformers. Even though this really isn't an official Hasbro Takara Tomy release, this is once again MP10 Optimus Prime of the Transformers Masterpiece series. But it is a stolen mold that was repainted by a knockoff company that is decked out in nice, shiny gold chrome paint. That's a lot to say, but that said, it is the truth. The figure is nothing more than just a knockoff of what could have been a very nice lucky draw MP10 Optimus Prime that was released under Takara or Hasbro. But nope, never happened. So this is as close as it's going to get. Now the reason why I got this figure, not just to review it for you today, is just to go ahead and be honest about it. I've always wanted a lucky draw Transformer figure, and I've always wanted it to be Optimus Prime, but as much as I would love for it to be the Robots in Disguise, and I'm talking about the real Transformers Robots in Disguise series Optimus Prime figure, that would never happen. I've seen that black and gold Optimus Prime Transformers Robots in Disguise figure go for a lot of money these days. This figure, on the other hand, it is Optimus Prime, it's MP10, so it's not exactly what I wanted, but that said, it's only $150, it didn't break the bank, so I'm satisfied. And it's got everything and then some that the MP10 Optimus Prime figure originally had. And yes, people, I do have MP10 Optimus Prime here, and the fact is, these figures are not completely one and the same. As you can see, this figure has been upscaled just a little bit from the original mold. There are some minor changes that makes this figure look just a little more interesting than the original mold. And I'll go ahead and show those off real quickly. I want you to see real quickly on this Optimus Prime, the official one, that his windshield wipers are completely flush with each other. They're down. On this mold here, they're actually up, as if they're activated, like it's raining on his chest and he just wants to wipe the windows, so that's cool. That's a nice change. Improvements from the original MP10. Notice that his chest piece will never stay attached to one another. It always splits, unfortunately. No matter what I do, this figure has that real problem. Since it is the original release, this chest piece here always seems to leave a seam line. It never actually is flush with each other. So it is a really big deal. But this figure doesn't have that problem. And it's not because of the paint job. It's not that, you know, you can't open this chest piece. You can if you want to. I will show that off. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. See? See? If I wanted to, I could store his matrix he came with inside here. I'm not going to do that, unfortunately. I'll probably never get it out again without running the risk of damaging the figure. And I'm just going to take my time to close this back up. But as you can see, everything's flush. This bit right here, I don't know what it is. It's flush. The windows are flush with each other. Both panels are actually aligned. And that's a nice touch. I like the improvements on this figure from the original release. Now, some knockoff Optimus Prime figures have this gap on the arm. Originally, there was this gap that kept these from actually attaching. This figure is actually the later release of the knockoff MP10 mold that had that correction. So, as you can see, these panel lines are actually flush. And, you know, this arm isn't flopping. So, there you go. It is the more better release MP10 knockoff figure. And the fact that he's just decked out in gold chrome just makes him a lot more special to me. I really can't get it to swivel too well, and I cannot get these fingers to individually move except for the front one. But yeah, as you can see, I can still mess around with the finger if I wanted to. That said though, everything else seems to work just fine. His head can still swivel, it moves up and down. His shoulders still got the 360 rotation and the in and out. Biceps swivel, single jointed elbows. Wrist rotation like I tried to show off, which I'm going to try again. There we go, see? Wrist rotation, individually articulated fingers, waist rotation. I shouldn't go that quick, but whatever. Legs go up about that much. And they go back about the same as MP10. There's thigh rotation. There's a, single jointed knee joint, 90 degrees. And then there's a lower knee rotation, and then of course the feet are really nicely articulated, going up, down, they go side to side, you know, that beautiful ankle pivot, visually articulated due to transformation, but that's something this figure cannot do, and that's the only con about this figure, is that he cannot transform. It said it on this package, which I do have right here, and since I haven't shown it off yet, here you go. That's all it is. It's just a cardboard box that has the sticker up here that says Masterpiece MP10G Optimus Prime. The G stands for gold. 1,000 pieces, limited edition. Do not transform. That goes for this figure, and it also goes for his Ion Blaster. The Ion Blaster still features everything that the original MP10 Optimus Prime figure had for his blaster. If you wanted to, you could transform it into storage mode. I'm not going to do that though, because you run the risk of damaging this nice gold plastic. It's still got all the details as the original one, so you're not really missing out on anything here. Even though I cannot transform this figure, he still has all the same occurring details and pretty much the same amount of articulation and much more than less the same amount of playability as MP10 does, minus the fact that you cannot turn him into a semi-truck. So, you know, whatever, it is what it is. But outside of that, he does come with still quite a bit of accessories. He's got his gold Energon axe here. The spikes down here on the Energon axe are actually warped. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. I cannot come up with any method to correct this without damaging the paint. Unfortunate, but whatever. Last thing he actually comes with is the gold matrix of leadership. And it is just a clear plastic crystal on the inside, while it's still got that nice die-cast metal for the outside, just decked out in that nice gold paint. So it is pretty cool. Unfortunately, Optimus Prime can't do anything with it. I'm not going to take the chance of putting this inside his chest, like I mentioned before. I may never get it out. So there's that. And I know I said that was the last thing that he comes with, but that was the last accessory that he comes with. The last included content for this whole entire set is this thing here, this nice gold card that is pretty much a knockoff of any Masterpiece Transformers figure card. It still says Convoy, still says Cybertron, MP10, Commander. It's got a number here, probably out of the thousands. I got 313. Could be a bit of a stretch. Very reflective, so it's pretty durable. It's not a flimsy cardboard. It's definitely got some officialness to it, so that's cool. On the back, it's got some material I can't read. It shows off his truck mode, it shows off his robot mode, him holding his blaster, and then it's got the stats of pretty much his power, his speed, and his skills, and all that. So there you go. That's really going to do it. There's not much else to talk about on this figure. I'd love to go more into detail about this figure, but I think I've said enough for what it is. Fact is, it's a cool figure, and it definitely fills in that gap in my collection for a lucky draw. Even though it's not official, it will serve my needs. So, you know, your results could be different. You might be thinking that I may have made the stupidest mistake of buying this thing rather than going for an official release. But hey, whichever saves me a good shiny penny, that's the one I'm going to go with. Even if it does have some unofficial stuff to it, the fact is, it's still got everything that the original had, and then some. As a matter of fact, notice that his Autobot symbol is still on his left shoulder. It's just clear plastic, but it's still there. Most knockoff Transformer figures don't have the Autobots or Decepticon logo on them. That's a nice touch. I'm glad they left that in, because it just makes it a little more official to me. Even though it's not official, it'll never be official. The fact is, this KO is just that one step closer, even though it'll never hit home base. But there you go, guys. I've pretty much said my piece on this figure. It's definitely worth it if you're into the lucky draws and you really want one. This is as close as it's going to get, unless you really want to buy one of the official ones that can go for a lot and break the bank. So, questions, comments, you know what to do. Leave it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, there's not much I can do for you except as I can say I'm sorry and hit the dislike button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel for more video reviews from yours truly. And this is the one and only Sonic Ranger signing out. Thanks for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.